Hello, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, Earthlings, on planet Earth, wherever you may be, and I hope you're having a fabulous time, wherever you are, whatever time it is, where you are. There's a lot in this video, a lot. I would like to begin with the Jeremy Clarkson, thing very briefly, because he explained in a tweet that it was a reference to Game of Thrones, a TV show on Netflix that I am aware of, but I've never watched it. So this morning I thought I would go and watch the reference, and I'm sorry to anyone out there who's a Game of Thrones fan. I watched this thing called The Walk of Atonement. I'm no Mary Whitehouse, but that was disgusting. What the hell is something like that doing on anybody's television screen? This is exactly what I mean about Netflix. They're arty-farty, wokey-cokey, where suddenly someone will be going to the toilet, or suddenly some gratuitous act happens and takes the viewer completely by surprise. If someone likes porn, and a lot of people do, it's a popular industry, not me or any of my family are into it, then you sign up to a porn channel. I don't want to see that kind of stuff in mainstream, and again I reiterate, I am no Mary Whitehouse, but having watched that, I'm quite shocked that Netflix, the kings and queens, the emperors, the overlords of all of us, the wokey-cokey, telling us all we need to do better and educate ourselves, blah, 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 blah. I've just seen that. Now, I may be taking it out of context because, as I say, I don't watch Game of Thrones and I've no intention of watching it after having seen that filth. Anyway, so Jeremy was, I get where he was coming from because there was a YouTuber who was explaining the political and the arty-farty meaning behind it, and this Queen Cersei, I think that's her name. In fact, that's the name of the dolphin safari cat, Cersei, because it belongs to a neighbour upstairs who does watch the show, and they called the cat Cersei. I kind of feel awkward calling the cat that now, after having watched this thing. Anyway, I also see that the Duchess of Sussex this morning has posted what I can only interpret as a death threat from some sugar. So I'm going to read this out. I have asked her if it's okay, but she's put it on her community post in the public, so I assume it's okay. I think this was a comment on her channel. I don't know where she got this from, but if you go to her community post, you'll see it yourself. It says, and this is presumably directed at her and other critics of Meghan Markle, "You better keep your face off public places because we, the fans of the Sussexes, are done with you because it is about being dead, which will reform all these attacks at them, so be safe not to be the first person." Well, I interpret that as critics are going to be murdered if they set foot outside their house. I could be wrong. What's your interpretation of that? That's despicable. Who the hell posted that? What kind of a human being posts that? And that's not just directed at the Duchess of Sussex, that's at anybody. That's how I take it. So that's how they're going to stop the criticism and the criticism of Meghan Markle. She's put herself out there on the telly. That invites criticism, both good and bad. But if anybody dares say a bad word, you're going to be murdered now. You dare set foot outside your house. Really, really. Now, I'm going to come to the next part because I have a little message from Wally, and I'm going to come to more of that. Talk of the devil. In a minute, Wally, in a minute. I'm going to play you a little audio. Now, this is going to take some time because I'm using Graham's phone. Right, got it.
I was thinking, you know what? I do watch social media and you know, the topics of the day. And when somebody is, what do they call them, cancelled on social media, anybody that's got a few followers can get cancelled. I thought if that ever happened to me, I really would kill myself. Well, I would probably die of heartbreak. And that scares me, the thought of losing people, you know, friends I've made on Twitter and YouTube. I'm very mindful of the value that you're worth to me. So I hope I never offend anybody. I never mean to offend. I never do. But sometimes my sense of humour is a bit awful. And I do say some cruel things. but I don't mean them, if you know what I mean. Anyway, I'll be back then.
I know exactly what she means. Now that is not a WhatsApp message, that's not a private message. It's not on Twitter, and I'm coming to where it is so that you can go and listen to the whole message yourselves from Wally. Wally's Twitter account that was reactivated, yes, that is her, and she has posted a couple of audios actually, for you all to hear, so that you know that that really is her on Twitter. Right, now I'm going to come to Google and YouTube and the fact that her channel was taken down, her original channel, and then subsequently her sister channel, and give you an update now I'm able to. After having written to Tom Simpson herself, and I wrote to Tom Simpson, and I think a couple of thousand of you also wrote to Tom Simpson. Well done, guys, well done, because 50% of this battle is opening lines of communication with a faceless organisation such as Google and YouTube. It worked. Thank you very much, everybody. I think what might have added also a little bit of pressure was the Information Commissioner's Office breathing down their neck, threatening fines that may or may not run into the millions. So they replied to Wally. They sent her a letter. And this is so Wally, but I do understand. When you listen to the full message from her, you also will understand. Wally has felt bullied offline by Christopher Boozy and other people, such as people saying, set foot outside your house, we can murder you. You don't like Meghan Markle. You can only worship Meghan Markle. You can only love Meghan Markle. You say one little itty bitty thing, you're going to get murdered, right? So that kind of put a dampener on Wally's life, as it might, you might imagine. That can get you down, having the odd death threat for just saying, oh, I'm not quite sure about this chick. Anyway, so Wally received the letter, and she was incommunicado with everybody, I think, including me for a while, and she was too scared to open it because she doesn't know what's in it. So in the end, she said, I'm going to send it to you, Fiona, and you open it, because she just can't take any more. And of course we're having industrial action with the post office. So she sent it at inordinate expense, actually, because she sent a parcel as well. And really, Wally, you shouldn't have spent any money on us at all, but she sent a parcel to us for Christmas. And here in Gibraltar, I'm not sure they've received any post. I phoned Parcel Force in Gibraltar and they said, we haven't had anything from anybody. Haven't you heard? There's been snow, there's been bad weather, and there's industrial action in the UK. So, oh, the irony, we don't actually know what is in that letter, but it is a letter from Google. I think she did open it, glanced at it, saw, but didn't put her glasses on, put it back in the envelope, and so she's now waiting for me to read it and find out what's in it. The point is, they have opened a line of communication. That's massive. Now, her Twitter account, if by any chance the Sugars have been bot attacking it or mass reporting it, what they may find, and this is only my personal suspicion, is that the people who now control Twitter will be looking at all the accounts that are reporting her Twitter account and going, why are you reporting it? Who are you? Are you a troll? Are you an online bully? And they may find themselves on the receiving end of a bit of shit and end up getting thrown off Twitter and then having to open a new Twitter account. It's also a possibility that YouTube themselves will take a similar course of action. Now, there are several Yankee Wally YouTube channels out there, and as Wally will explain to you, a number of them have been set up for legal purposes, for observation purposes. One in particular was set up a couple of months ago, I think, and it's still there. However, Wally has another YouTube channel, and the link to that is in the description of this video, and you can go and listen to it. Now maybe it will get taken down within 24 hours. Perhaps the people at YouTube and Google UK Limited and the Information Commissioner's Office are going to be monitoring that channel and other Yankee Wally channels. Perhaps people are beginning to scrutinise, question and look at the activities of Christopher Boozy and Bot Sentinel. Perhaps newspapers and other organisations are beginning to look at death threats that have been issued by Meghan Markle fans. Perhaps people are beginning to question, look at and scrutinise some nefarious, potentially goings-on of censorship on the internet in general, which, as I have said on more than one occasion, is incredibly dangerous territory. So be careful, sugars, be very careful. Issuing your death threats, carrying on your trolling. I support Meghan Markle fans' freedom of speech as much as I support her critics, as long as it is not defamatory, threatening or harassing. Those are the rules. But we all have to be able to debate and exchange ideas. And the video that Wally has uploaded on her YouTube channel, where the link is in the description here, and I'll pin it in a comment, she's talking about hedgehogs, cats, teeth, food. So won't it be interesting, Ellie Hall, if it gets reported? Perhaps all of you good people go and watch it. You could download it. And if that channel does go down, perhaps you'd be good enough to create a Yankee Wally channel yourself and upload it. Bit like, no, I'm Spartacus. No, I'm Spartacus. No, I'm Spartacus. No, I'm Yankee Wally. No, I'm Yankee Wally. I'm Yankee Wally. So that it springs forth, because this nonsense is coming to an end. Yankee Wally is back on YouTube, and even if they throw her off this channel, she will come back again and again and again, because it was not right what was done to her in the first place. Now, just check my notes, make sure I've done everything. Yes, I think I have. Oh yes, there is another point. YouTube, Twitter, wokey cokies, you know, whatever. When you use expressions like educate yourself, ask yourself this question. How the hell can anybody educate themselves when they don't know what the hell they did wrong in the first place to be deplatformed, to be demonetized, to be banned? How can anybody learn? How can their followers learn when they're like, why did that happen? What the hell happened there? So this ridiculous and yet apparently popular phrase, educate yourself. Well, fucking explain it. What the hell are you talking about? And as for the terms and conditions on these platforms, I've read them and they are so blasé. They could be applied this way, that way. They cover themselves. They've covered themselves. Further than that, the Christmas lives continue tonight, 6 o'clock European time, 5 o'clock in the afternoon UK time, and I will work out what time that is in Australia and America for everybody else. So we will see you this evening, our time. In the meantime, have a lovely day and go and have a listen to Cheerio, as always.